Hello everyone and welcome back to my F1 2020 Formula 2 season for the round in Hungary today. So we currently have a 16 points lead in the championship and to Matsushita in second, a further point back to Robert Schwartzman. So it's been getting close the last few rounds. We've had a couple of tough times in the last few rounds at Silverstone and Austria and even Monaco. A lot of rounds recently, the last four really haven't been fantastic, so we need to get our form back and try and stretch that lead out once again, because at the moment it is far from safe. But here in Hungary, on the soft compound tyres for qualifying, and they overheat quite a lot around here, so as we come around to complete our first lap, it might be the only one that we have a chance to set. So we come across the line and we are the first, or one of the first, to set a time. So we can't really see what that time will really represent, but we could try go for a second lap, abandon it at the latest possible moment when it becomes pretty obvious that we will not improve. And that is what we will do. We sit in third at the moment, but across the line comes Dan TICKTUM. He goes fastest of all. So great lap by him. Marino Sato currently sits in second position. But as we continue to look on through this, Derivla goes sixth. That's behind us. But Artem Markelov goes third fastest. He moves ahead of us. And next up comes Felipe Drugovich. He also will move up into third position. It seems to be a popular place at the moment, because Callum ILOTT coming up to the line. He also will go into third position. Here comes his teammate Guan Yu Zhou. I wonder where he is going to fit in. He also goes into third position. This is a bit of a weird thing happening here. Everyone moving up into third. And that was Matsushita going into 9th and Luca Chiotto going into 7th. So we are ahead of Matsushita, but we are all the way down to 9th position in this one. So not the qualifying that I had in mind for this round. At the end of the session we tried to go out for another lap, and you can see through turn 1 we have made some improvements on our previous best, so we may be able to improve with the same quite worn tyres at this point, but they are much cooler. And you can see by the end of the lap though, no improvement to be found, and we will just have to deal with starting in 9th position this time, as we make a huge mistake at the penultimate corner.
As we wind down from the excitement of qualifying, here's a look at your top three: TICKTUM, Sato and Guan Yu Zhou. The grid is set then, so that just leaves the race itself. Join us tomorrow, where we'll be live with all the action, and until then, goodbye.
So there we have it. It is Dan TICKTUM on pole from Marino Sato and Guan Yu Zhou. And in the championship, those 4 points for TICKTUM helps him move ahead of Callum ILOTT and Jayan Derivla, who are tied on points at the moment. Hopefully Derivla can score a few more in this round. He's currently letting the team down a little bit. I'm taking the fight to Matsushita in the championship, but unfortunately Derivla not really taking the fight to Drugovich, who, to be fair, Drugovich has been pretty fast, but yeah, Derivla just not really on it this season so far. But hopefully, yeah, that can change. But Robert Schwartzman, a long way down in this race, so one of our championship rivals may struggle to get any points this weekend. So we'll have to keep an eye on his progress throughout the race, but that could be interesting. Let's get into it.
Welcome to the Hungaroring here in Hungary, just a short distance from Budapest. This is a circuit with a lot of history in motorsport. Which of our F2 drivers here today, I wonder, will add to that legacy? The Hungaroring is located 12 miles northeast of the capital, Budapest. It's 2.7 miles long, featuring 14 corners, and it's got a reputation for making overtaking difficult. Nevertheless, there's a history of some truly exceptional races here. Let's hope that our Formula 2 drivers can serve up some more of that today. Joining me for all today's excitement, a man who is no stranger to this challenging circuit, Davide Valsecchi. Davide, Hungaroring can be a tricky beast to master. What insight can you give us about today's race?
Ciao Alex. As you say, the circuit can be challenging. There's a lot of slow corner which can make overtaking very frustrating. This will be a good test of this young driver's patience. Waiting for the perfect moment to make an attack will be the key to moving up through the field today.
As we're now moments away from the off, let's take a look at the grid order in which they'll start today's race. A fantastic effort from Daniel TICKTUM yesterday puts him on pole position, and it's Marino Sato in P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Joe, ILOTT, Felipe Dragovic, and Markelov, Giotto, Armstrong, Sonoda, Nobuharu, Matsushita, Aitken, Deruvala, Nikita Mazepin, and Lundgaard, Nissany, Alesi, Schwartzman, and Mick Schumacher, PK, and Louis Delatraz. SAMAIA and Sean Galeal completes the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
So here we are on the grid then for the race in Hungary, the feature race, the first one. But anyway, cloudy conditions all day, but no rain coming out of them. So we get ready to go to these 5 red lights. The lights are out. We are underway for the feature race here in Hungary, and it's a bit of a wobbly start for us, but in terms of pace we're a little bit slow, and that's allowed a couple of cars to get past us. We're going to see if we can find any space, but we're just completely boxed in. There's nowhere for us to go, so we're going to just try and gain as many spots as we can, and we have managed to gain back what we lost as we go up the inside of not 1 but 2 cars into turn 2, and we will get back up into 7th position. So we have actually ended up gaining 2 spots from where we started, so that's great news for our race. And we managed to get Armstrong and Giotto as we get very close to the back of the HWA Race Lab car of Artem Markelov.
Great first lap, keep it up.
And yeah, that is a great start to this race. We go up the inside of Markelov. He's not seen us coming as we came from a long way back, and we had to back out of that. Some contact was made there at the apex, but no damage done, I don't think. So a couple of bumps there with Markelov. We'll just need to settle it down a little bit and yeah, recompose ourselves and try and make the moves later on in the race. It's very, very important to make moves early here in Hungary, because overtaking can be difficult once the field spreads out a bit. And yeah, we're trying to make the most of the traffic on lap 1, but not able to do so. But getting very close to the back of Markelov here at the end of the first lap. We may be able to go for an overtake at the end of this straight if we get a good exit. Bit of a mishap there, almost running into the pit wall, but looking at the front wing, no noticeable damage there on the left side where we made contact with Markelov. So as we continue on, have a look up the inside, not quite going to get there though, and Markelov's going to hold the position. We end up compromising our own line and running wide, but no harm done. We can push on. We'll try again later on in the race, but unfortunately that plan is not going to plan, because now Armstrong down the inside as we head towards turn 1, and he's just got so much more grip. We go wide, try to get a switchback on Armstrong, but it's just not worked out for us. It's not an easy corner to make a switchback work, and Armstrong
Focus. We need to stay on form.
Was able to get the better exit there, and we're down into 8th position. And that's because our tyres are overheating by now, and they're just not giving us the grip that we want, as the radio fails to work. But anyway, the Trident of Roy Nissany retires from the race with a mechanical failure, and we drift our way into pit lane to get rid of these tyres as soon as we're physically allowed to. But we actually are changing the front wing, so there must have been a bit of damage from the bumping with Markelov, because the team decided it was worthwhile to change the front wing. So yeah, that's it's costing us a lot of time in the pit lane, but I think that may also explain why we had such little grip in that stint. We weren't really able to continue fighting with Markelov. I thought it was the tyres overheating, and I think they were to some extent, but yeah, as we got back underway with the full front wing, the car definitely felt much nicer. So as we continue on, Alesi coming out of the pits right ahead of us. We'll try and go to the outside line as we head towards turn 2. Can't quite get there. Alesi has the DRS open, but we're going to go for the move up the inside, and we'll just about squeeze through and get the move done and move ourselves up into 17th. And now we can try and just push on as hard as we can while the next group of cars are making their stops, and we should get a slightly bigger undercut on this lot And as we continue around the outside goes Robert Schwartzman on Jack Aitken. So Schwartzman has made a brilliant strategy call there by pitting a lap earlier than all of these cars, and he has got himself back up into contention for some points as we get a new strategy that's not particularly useful. A 2-stop or a 2-stop? I'm doing a 1-stop there. But anyway, we get past Jack Aitken and move ourselves up and into 12th position now. So the race coming together alright for us at this point in time. And we are just on the edge of getting some points as we get very close to the back of Robert Schwartzman around the outside. Not quite going to make the move there. Can't carry the speed through that right-hander, but we're going to go for the move up the inside. He's very slow into this chicane here, and we make the move on Robert Schwartzman and up into the top half of the field. So only one position away from points now, and that is going to be the my teammate of Jay Deruvula. My English is getting worse as this race goes on, but anyway, catching up to my teammate now. Not quite close enough to make a move, but we're going to go for the move up the inside into turn 2, and we will get it done. But Deruvula gets a switchback, and we're going to be side by side as we head through turn 3, wheel banging, but we do manage to get ahead. Deruvula backs out.
Don't worry about tyre condition for now. Everything's looking good.
And yeah, we'll live to fight another day. We're going to see if we can get past Giotto in the very near future, and that will get us within range of Matsushita. But Matsushita, you can see, is a fair way up the road as we can't quite get up the inside of Giotto into the chicane. The first corner may be the target, so as we continue on, DRS help along the straight. Giotto defending a little bit. We go to the outside of Luca Giotto. Round the outside we go of turn 1. Giotto though still with some good traction on the inside there, and he's actually got better traction than us. He's managed to get it back ahead. We'll be able to go up the inside of turn 2 though, and we should just about be able to squeeze through here and move ourselves up and into 9th position. Giotto down to 10th. Hopefully Deruvula can get past him as well.
P9, Matsushita ahead. Our gap to the car in front is 6.2 seconds.
So it's a big gap to Matsushita, and we're not going to close that up because Giotto is still trying to keep this fight going as he goes down the inside into turn 1. We leave him the space, but we should be able to... no, we are not able to get the exit, and Giotto's through. We compromised our own line too much, but we will go for the move back up the inside and retake the position from Luca Giotto. That was a nice move. We completely missed the apex, but we did manage to carry the speed well enough to stay ahead this time. So yeah, going a bit back and forth between myself and Giotto, and for now we've come out in front. But the safety car is out, and that is because Guilherme SAMAIA is out of the race with a mechanical issue. There's only 4 laps left in this race, so we may be finishing under safety car, or if not, we may just have 1 or 2 laps after the safety car restart to make some moves. But as you can see, the safety car restart is happening now, and we haven't caught the field yet. So not sure what the deal is there. We must have been a very long way behind the race leaders, and a relatively short safety car means it's not really affected our race in any way, and that is just about it for our race. So around the final corner, here comes Dan TICKTUM, and he's going to win the feature race here in Hungary. Great drive by the British driver, and for us, as we drift around the last corner, it is only going to be 9th position, and a bit of a disappointing day, honestly. I think we could have done a lot better than that.
Race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
We also miss out on reverse grid pole, which goes to our championship rival Nobuharu Matsushita. So yeah, it's not a good day.
A great win then for the Dams team today. Tell me, Davide, what was the key to this success?
It was all about being in the right place at the right time. If the safety car hadn't come out and bunched everybody up, I think we could have been looking at a very different result today.
And I can see our drivers making their way out now. It's been a sublime team performance, and it's the culmination of a lot of hard work. Dams are your winners today.
So it is Dan TICKTUM who wins the feature race here in Hungary. A great race for Marino Sato, who will finish up in P2, and Guan Yu Zhou brings home third.
After this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table. The gap at the top of the championship has been cut down after a difficult race for our championship leader. And so, driver of the day then, Davide Valsecchi, who do you think you'd go for?
Let's give it to Daniel TICKTUM. That was a quality drive from start to finish. He can be proud of that one.
And here's how things are shaping up in the teams' championship. MP Motorsport moved further clear at the top. Another team that excelled today was DAMS, who make further progress up the table. After all this drama, you'll be mad not to join us for the next race. We hope to see you then. Take care.
So, that is the feature race done and dusted. 14 points in the championship now. Back to Matsushita, and he will be on reverse grid pole. So he has a very good chance of winning this race. And, well, we'll need to move forward if we want to maintain the championship lead, even by a small margin. So yeah, Matsushita has every chance of taking the championship lead at the end of the next race, and that's not what we want at this point of the season. Yeah, I guess the race realistically went wrong on lap 1 when we made contact with Markelov. It didn't really affect us too much in the first stint, but the front wing change just put us back down the order, and we just didn't have the pace, to be honest. We just didn't have the pace to come back through the field. And yeah, Matsushita, albeit in 8th position, was too fast for us. So yeah, it's not what we needed. We did pit very early as well, so we couldn't really overtake anyone, or we couldn't overtake too many cars. We were on quite old tyres. So yeah, it's frustrating, but after lap 1 and a little bit of damage, I don't think we really could have done much more. Matsushita was just so much faster than us. The gap to him just before the safety car was quite ridiculous how quickly he was getting away from us. So yeah, disappointing, but it's still a couple of points in the bank, and we still hold the championship lead. And if we can make up a few positions in the next one, we still will hold the lead at the end of this round. But Matsushita is no doubt going to take a lot of points away from us in this round in Hungary.
Welcome back for the final event of the weekend, the sprint race. Here, the top 8 from yesterday's feature race are reversed to make up the grid below us, and in just a few minutes, those drivers will be hurtling down into turn 1. As we await the start of another hugely anticipated Formula 2 race, I'm joined again by Davide Valsecchi. Davide, as a former GP2 champion, can we get some insight to what is running through these young drivers' heads as they sit out on the grid?
Ciao Alex, it's a pleasure to be here. There are nervy moments, there is no doubts about that. Mental strength is the key to remaining calm and focusing on the upcoming race. Formula 2 is so competitive, and all of these drivers knows that they are going to be pushing each other all of the way. In this sport, you have to be able to control your nerves.
Alright, so ready for the sprint race. We need to move forwards if we even want to score points. But if we can finish in the top, I don't know, 6 or 7, we still will have the lead no matter what Matsushita does in this race. A fastest lap would be ideal for us in this one. But we go to the 5 red lights. And away we go for the sprint race here in Hungary, and it's a lot of wheel spin for Marino Sato. TICKTUM goes to the middle of the row ahead of us, and for now we just have to try and find a way. Down the inside we go of a lot of cars into turn 1, and we're actually going to make all of those positions stick as we move ourselves up into 4th position in just the first corner alone. That is 5 overtakes on the run into turn 1. That is a fantastic start to this sprint race, and we have already made amends for the previous race, and now all of a sudden this race is looking a lot more positive. Only 3 cars ahead of us now. We could very well be on for a podium, and well, that would make this weekend that much better. But as we
That's a strong start. Well done.
as we continue through this first lap, we just got to try and stay close to these cars ahead. It's very tricky in the dirty air around here in Hungary. It's a lot better in the Formula 2 cars than the F1 cars, of course, but still very difficult to follow. The first lap, though, while everyone's relatively bunched up, it is our best chance to try and make a further couple of moves. So as we head into the final sector, this is where it's the most important to be close to get a run onto the straight. So if we can get a good run on Markelov here around the last couple of corners, that will put us in good stead to make a move. And you can see how close we're running here. Markelov clearly doesn't have his tyres quite up to the ideal temperature after the formation lap, and it's going to give us an opportunity as we try and straighten up the exit here onto the main start line, and we'll go for a move if we're close enough, sitting in the slipstream, looking to the inside a little bit. Not really close enough. As we have a look, he's going to stay very wide, so we'll go for the move and make it stick on Artem Markelov, and we move ourselves up onto the podium. So yeah, Markelov not interested in defending that position for now, so that's interesting. But next up is Marcus Armstrong and then Nobuharu Matsushita. So
P3, you are currently in P3. Armstrong ahead. Our gap to the car in front is 1.3 seconds.
as we continue on, the fastest lap of the race for
That
us.
was the fastest lap of the race so
And
far.
now we are getting close to Marcus Armstrong up the inside as he locks up, and we'll make the move on Marcus Armstrong into turn 1, and we will be able to pull away from the Kiwi.
Conditions look stable at the moment. No rain currently expected.
And no rain on the horizon yet. There will be heavy rain 90 minutes after the start of the race, but we may not even get to that point. The race, I think, is a maximum of 45 minutes along. But we continue on, and we do catch up to Matsushita, and we have the DRS, but we're just struggling to get close enough at this point. SAMAIA retires from another race. That's 2 in a row on the same weekend for Guilherme SAMAIA. What a disaster for the Brazilian, and that brings out a virtual safety car. So not going to have a huge effect on our race, just going to prevent us from making a move on
Virtual
this
safety
particular
car
lap.
is ending. Maintain your pace until the green flag.
And after it comes to an end, we can get back to racing once again. Another fastest lap for us as we pursue Nobuharu Matsushita. We're going to go for a move, not here, and we're going to remain behind our fellow Japanese driver. But as we just don't have enough pace to quite get past him. I feel like we're faster, but we just can't get close enough through the third sector to try and make a move into turn 1 or turn 2. And yeah, it's just not working out for us. And also Callum ILOTT retiring from the race as well, so a bit of a disaster for him in this one, but I don't think he was contending for points anyway. But anyway, continue on. We are all the way on to lap 20. We've just spent so much time trying to catch up to Matsushita and just following him, but not a lot of time actually in combat with him. So we're going to try and change that on this lap. We have the DRS, and we're going to see if we can get closer and closer along the straight. We're a long way behind, but we're going to go for the move up the inside of Nobuharu Matsushita, and we make the move stick through turn 1.
Good job. Nice overtake.
And we take the lead here in Hungary. But there's the replay of the move, and it got through nice and cleanly. I was actually quite happy with that one, considering how far back we came from. Here's the onboard with Matsushita, and yeah, very late on the brakes to get it stopped. We did run slightly wide, but got the move done. But it's not over yet, because here comes Matsushita coming back at us as we head along the straight. Down the inside he goes, and he's already clear as we head towards the first corner. We'll try for a switchback, but it's, as I said, very tricky to pull off here. And once again, we just don't get the run, as Matsushita also has the DRS, which is another reason the switchback is so difficult. So we continue on down the inside once again, and we just about get there this time, very close. We weren't quite as aggressive and late on the brakes, and we had to run side by side for a moment, but we do get the move done, and we move back up into the lead. But moving on again, it's just going to flip again. The coin goes the other way, and Matsushita retakes the lead, and this time our tyres are starting to die off. I can feel it, and as we continue on,
to the end of the race on these tyres.
We are running out of opportunities. We have to go for a big move down the inside this time. We just about get it stopped for the corner right on the inside white line, and I'm sure Matsushita probably isn't too happy about that. He goes back around the right, and we just about got the nose in for the left-hander of turn 2, and we should just about be able to squeeze through with the inside line. But you can see we're having to fight more and more aggressively as we're using up our tyres a bit faster than Matsushita is. As we know, he is the tyre saving god in Formula 2. But anyway, as we come around to turn 4, a little bit up on the curve, and we've spun around. That's a disaster. Matsushita has to hit the brakes very close to smashing into our front wheel there. Good reaction times for him not to make contact, and we've somehow maintained the lead through all of that, as Matsushita had nowhere to go. But we're actually going to do the right thing here, pull off and let Matsushita take the lead. There's the replay of the incident, and Matsushita just about avoiding contact there. But yes, that could have been a much bigger incident. Here is another incident on the final lap of another spin for us. So yeah, that was about all for our race, just about managing to block off Marcus Armstrong after that spin. And yeah, that was about all for our race. So around the final corner, here comes Nobuharu Matsushita to win the sprint race here in Hungary. Good drive by him, and we're going to come around just about for P2, but Marcus Armstrong is very, very close.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
That ended a bit suddenly, but yeah, we just a couple of spins towards the end. Not ideal, but the pace was much better in that race, so at least there's that.
So after a day of mixed fortunes up and down the field, we bring today's race to a close. And I have to wonder, Davide Valsecchi, just what set them apart from the competition here.
I think this race was won thanks to the tyre management. You have to remember, it's not just about going as fast as you can, it's about consistency. It's about maintaining your speed over an entire race distance. So being able to keep the lap time competitive while still respecting the tyres, that's where they won today.
And look at that, they're making their way out onto the podium now. Great race from the MP Motorsport team, and I'm very happy to see them up there on the top step of the podium.
So it is Nobuharu Matsushita who takes the race win today. We finish up in second position with Marcus Armstrong in third.
And now, let's take a look at the driver's standings. It was not the best weekend for our championship leader, and their advantage at the top has been reduced. And now, Davide Valsecchi, let me ask you, who is your driver of the day?
Let's give it to Yuki Tsunoda. That was a quality drive from start to finish. He can be proud of that one.
On to the teams then. MP Motorsport move further clear at the top. Meanwhile, Arden's strong weekend allows them to continue their march up the table. After all this drama, you'll be mad not to join us for the next race. We hope to see you then. Take care.
So, there we have it. The end of the weekend. We still hold the championship lead, but we did some good damage limitation, especially at the first corner, managing to move all the way up into fourth by the first corner. Look at this move to the inside, very, very late on the brakes, but yeah, that was really saved our race, honestly, because if we didn't do that, it would have been quite tough to make it through make it through all the cars ahead. And yeah, but anyway, still hold the championship lead. There's 4 rounds to go in the championship, so we're at 2/3 of the championship duration, and we're still in good stead. Matsushita is probably going to be our main contender at this point. Schwartzman was kind of there, but he had a pretty horrendous weekend, honestly. So unless he has a feature race win in the next one, I don't see how he's going to get back in the fight anytime soon. But yeah, we'll see. You never know what can happen in Formula 2, and you never know, he might come back next weekend and get a double podium or something and be right back in the fight. But yeah, disappointing for us though that we made those mistakes in the feature race. But oh well, that's is what it is. But yeah. Oh well, other than that though, I don't think there's too much else left to cover. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next time for the round in Belgium. Goodbye.